For most students, obtaining funds from means such as SAAS is necessary in order to simply attend college, and without it, attempting to further an education becomes increasingly more difficult. As the cost of living goes up and trying to hold down a part-time job becomes more stressful, the question posed is it worth it? This year, an increasing number of students have been having difficulty obtaining their bursaries and loans, some having to go 3 or even 4 months into their college year before getting their funding.
I tried to change my address on one of my bursaries I was getting, and it took like 3 weeks to change it.
Well, I was at university for 3 years. I dropped out towards the end of the third year, and when I applied for college, SAAS told me that I was no longer eligible for fees, that they would pay my fees. So I'm having to pay for tuition at my own pocket.
I got my tuition fees quite quickly, but I applied also for a loan for minimum cost of living, and I emailed them in September, and I got a reply in February.
I didn't actually get a payment for 1 month, which took another 4 weeks for the bank to transfer that.
They told me that I'm not eligible because I broke my residency from living the country for 2 years.
I had to be quite assertive with them and say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. Managed to get through to a very nice head office, and they managed to sort it out very quickly. But it's quite a malarkey.
It took a long time for them to reply to me, and I couldn't get them on the phone as well, so I emailed, and still they replied after months. So if I was depending on that, I would be starving.
So when did you apply for SAAS first?
At the end of May, beginning of June, because I heard that if you applied earlier, it would come through faster and you wouldn't go through as many problems to get your grant and your fees paid for.
And how long did it take you to hear back from them?
It didn't take that long actually to find out that my tuition fees were paid for, to find out if I actually got my grant. I didn't hear back for them for quite a while, and I actually had to phone in myself.
And were they helpful?
I mean, for all the times that I did phone in, I kind of gave up because I was in the queue for so long. When I finally did get through, which would have been taken between 10 or 20 minutes, they were quite helpful actually. They were quite nice, yeah.
Did you have to go into the building?
I did. I went in 3 times.
How happy would you say you've been with the service and the help that you've received from SAAS?
Not very. I'm not very happy at all. I mean, it shouldn't take this long to help me pay my bills and not go into my overdraft. I was actually thinking of getting a credit card, and that would be a bit ridiculous, to be honest.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
With an increasing number of unhappy students having to survive on the bare minimum of funding, the difficult choice arises: should they further their education or should they just stop? Could this be the beginning of the end for education, except for those who can afford it? Or will SAAS hear the cries of distress from students across Scotland and work to improve their service for fresh students applying next year? Thank you.